bushel of apples. Watch.
You know,
It may come in a champagne bottle, but this bubbly comes without the booze.
This is the kids' champagne, and people tell us that that's how the kids refer to it.
Also known as sparkling apple cider, this benign beverage is made at Martinelli's processing plant in Northern California. A family business that began in 1868, Martinelli's invented non-alcoholic apple cider for one very good reason: the U.S. ban on alcohol in the 1920s.
So during Prohibition, when our champagne cider was not allowed, we developed the non-alcoholic version of that, which is our current sparkling cider.
It all starts, of course, with lots of fresh apples. Over 1 million pounds a day during harvest season.
We then blend the apples together with the different varieties.
Martinelli's mix includes over 6 kinds of apples, including Granny Smith and Red Delicious. Giant brushes give them a good scrubbing, then quality control checkers hand sort them. Of course, no bad apples are allowed. Then grinders, similar to giant food processors, beat the apples to a pulp.
It's sort of like applesauce.
Literally.
And then that's put into the apple presses, and we squeeze it, and that allows us to gradually encourage the juice to come out of the pulp.
Next, the juice gets flowing to holding tanks where it settles for up to 18 hours before being filtered and sent to bottling. And champagne bottles are the container of choice for this sparkling cider, and not just because of their classy looks.
The pressure gets up to over 200 pounds per square inch in the bottle, and it would break. So we have to use a champagne bottle that's designed to contain that extra pressure.
Then the bottles are capped, labeled, and sent via conveyors to be packed into 30,000 cases each day. Martinelli's claims this is a way to drink your apple a day.
It's all natural. We don't use any preservatives. There are no sweeteners, no added water. It's 100% from the apple into the bottle.
So where do the bubbles come from if it's just juice? The secret is carbon dioxide that's added before bottling. The final result creates just enough twinkle to keep this drink cheery.
The sparkling cider is really an ideal product for celebrating.
Sparkling cider is similar to wine in another way. There are actually some slight flavor variations from year to year based on the apple crop, same as with grapes. Speaking of variations, check out how one company is giving the classic candy cane some new twists.
Red, white, and sweet all over. The candy cane is one of the most beloved holiday traditions. In fact, each year, nearly 2 billion candy canes are made. And just outside Seattle, Washington, the Elegant Gourmet is giving the classic candy cane a new shape. It's called the Candy Cane Tree, combining 2 holiday favorites, the Christmas tree and the candy cane.
The process for designing the trees came actually when I was laying in bed. I was thinking Christmas trees for Christmas. We could wrap the rope of the candy cane around the Christmas tree.
To make these tasty trees, workers must first cook up a batch of candy. The recipe begins with sugar and corn syrup. The mixture cooks bubbling hot in an old-fashioned copper kettle. Once the candy reaches 315 degrees, it pours out onto a water-cooled table. Then, red and white coloring blend in. Next, the slab is cut into sections which turn over and over until they're cool enough to handle. The largest portion of candy drops onto a pulling machine, and a dab of red coloring quickly transforms it to pink. This is also where the flavor comes in. Peppermint flavor pours on this portion, which makes up the center of the candy cane. Meanwhile, a smaller white portion is put on a taffy hook. Here, it pulls by hand, adding air and giving the candy a bright white color. The red and white pieces come together and are cut into 3 sections. All 3 then attach side by side. The red and white jacket wraps around the pink bundle, then moves to the batch roller.
Basically, the batch roller is a canvas machine that rolls on 2 rollers. You put the candy in the canvas, and there's little heaters that keep the candy warm and pliable. That assists the candy maker in pulling out the right amount of rope, the right size of rope.
The rope is cut with scissors and quickly coils around the Christmas tree forms.
Once the candy cane is pulled, they have seconds to wrap that around, and that's where the spill comes in.
Elegant Gourmet makes about 1 million candy canes each year, and a lot goes into growing these trees. Each small one is wrapped with around 12 candy canes, while the large trees contain 55. But no matter the size, each one is grown with a tender technique.
It's a lost art, and that's what we're trying to do, is preserve the art of candy making.
Next, get an inside look at how Christmas candy gets twisted and painted, and learn the sweet history behind the Yule log when we come back.